Again, not as great as the pink notebook, but we will persist because this is better for journaling. So I completely, floundered last week, so. Bachelor in Paradise week 2, episodes 1 and 2. Okay, so it is episode 2, week 2. We got our Bachelor in Paradise classic intro of Almost Paradise plays in the background, and they all do their stupid little gimmicks. James is now pivoted from being box guy to being pinata guy, which, knowing what I know now, yikes for him. The men have roses still. We're still, getting ready for the first pairing up. Natasha is feeding Brendan a banana. They're being all cute and cuddly. We get the introduction of my pot-stirring queen, Demi, as she's here to date men. She's fully declaring that she's not here as a both ways bisexual icon. She's here for a man. She gets the date card, as the people who come in do, and she goes and talks to a lot of men, which I will say I noted differently than in previous seasons, where it felt like that maybe they did it and they just cut it, but it feels like this season they're talking to more people before they go and take them out on dates to kind of throw you off. They're not just like beelining for one person. At least some of these people are. Demi takes her date card. She talks to Connor, who seemed to be paired up with Deandra, or with Marissa. They chit chat. They both have cats. Cute. They have stuff in common. We have Demi and Kenny, who are, both freaks in the most positive way possible. They're both freaks. Like this season, they're talking to more people before they go and take them out on dates to kind of throw you off. They're not just like beelining for one person. At least some of these people are. Demi takes her date card. She talks to Connor, who seemed to be paired up with Deandra, or with Marissa. They chit chat. They both have cats. Cute. They have stuff in common. We have Demi and Kenny, who are, both freaks in the most positive way possible. They're both freaks. I still don't get everyone's attraction to Kenny. Like, he just looks like a poor dude. It's fine. Brendan goes to talk to Demi. Demi is like, oh my god, he's so shy. He is so not into her. It is unbelievably uncomfortable. Or she's just like, oh my god, he's mysterious. He's not mysterious. He's just not that into you, babes. He is just not that into you. Brendan goes on the date with, Demi asks Brendan on the date. They go on the date together. Natasha is looking kind of sad, looking kind of concerned because the men have the roses and what if they really hit it off. I mean, Demi's she's catch and she's prime pussy. So how could he not? Well, spoiler alert, he doesn't. He's fully not. So while they're on that date, we get the knowledge that Brendan may or may not have been seeing Piper, who I messed up my intros fully last week. My bad. I apologize. I apologize to Serena, Piper herself, Deandra, Marissa. Confused. I don't know, but I apologize to those women. My brain was super scrambled, and even in editing, I was like, I still don't see Piper, but she has to be here. She's not here, bro. It's okay. Brendan is like Brendan may or may not have been seeing Piper off the show, so he is, you know, Natasha's like, well, if you're not here for me, like, are you just being like scumbag? And that festers while he's on this date with Demi, in which Demi's like, I really want to lay it down for you. This could be it. And Brendan's just like, I'm here to play the field, babes. I'm here for anyone and everyone. So, you know, do with that information what you will. Demi's ego is hurt, and there are lots of shots of her just fuming mad and just like, how could this happen to me? Like, how could this happen to me plays in the background in my heart. We get Hurricane Demi as, honestly, all the things that happen in the next couple weeks are all Brendan's fault, because if he had just been like, I'll feel it out, and then not given her his rose, we would not be here right now. Like any good hurricane with their salt, they take out several people's roofs and houses on the way out. Okay, so Ivan gets a day, I don't know what this note is, if they get to go on another date card. But Ivan and Jasenia seem pretty strong. I'll edit around that as I need to. Serena C and Victoria are all worried about not having like men to couple up with, because like, what's gonna happen? Also the other Victoria and also Kelsey also don't have roses. So Serena, Goddess Victoria, and Champagne Girl Kelsey don't have roses, and they're just like, you gotta let it rip. You can't do the 5 seconds of staring at a man. You have to, you know, be up in there, step into it, huns. Victoria is like, okay, I'm gonna take a stab with James. Let's see if James is super duper into me. Victoria F goes up to James and starts chit-chatting him, and it's like, flip. They're making out. And then literally the next morning, she doesn't even know his name. She's calling him Jordan. She's like, he doesn't look like, he should be named Jordan. Honey, that's not a good excuse not to know someone's name. It's truly not. Embarrassing. So of course, Tammy and Kelsey are like, Kelsey's like, I gotta get this man, and Tammy's like, I have a sense of right. It's like, I gotta go tell James. She doesn't even know your name, bro. Jasenia, okay, that was correct. Jasenia and Ivan get a date card. They're on this like floating water dinner date. It's very cute, very pretty. That's who I confused Piper with, was Jasenia. They look cute together. They look like they belong together. They talk about, you know, the intersection of Ivan and Jess talk about their situation, their experience with racism post being on The Bachelor, especially Jasenia with such a racially charged season that she was on. What a mess for her, and how essentially, like, you know, all the like romantic parts of the show is, you know, put to the wayside, because every interview is asking your opinion on race, and you know, some people don't have complex thoughts about it, and it's, some people, as long as they are not bigots, should be allowed to have their uncomplicated thoughts about racism. We talk about the intersection of sexuality and race, and how Jasenia got way more hate, which I think all the women do. I just think that the female fan base might suffer from a little bit of misogyny, and so they are more likely to be like, I would never do that, and send these women hate. Don't send these women hate. Literally write a letter to your priest. Like, write a letter to whatever spiritual leader, and if you have no spiritual leader, I don't know, write a letter to the president, and then send it. And if you don't have the money to send it, light the paper on fire. Like, literally do anything else besides DM people that you don't know hateful crap. Like, it is so easy. It's much more work to be hateful. We get more shots of the crabs. The crabs. As they romp on the beach. Ivan is like, hey, Jacinia, you're gonna get my rose. Like, don't even worry. I just want you to have like a good time, have fun. You're gonna get my rose. She's like, bingo bango, bud. I will read the quotes separately and then I'll move back into the recap. They look like they belong together. My dad, 2021. She seems so open this time. Maybe it's real this time. My dad, 2021. Matt James was out here kissing women with his eyes open, so of course she seems more into it now. Me, 2021. Are the crabs here for the right reason? Your boys, the Are You Here for the Right Reason crew is all hanging around, chatting about Brendan. Demi comes back without Brendan. Everyone's like, oh no. The tea is spilled with Demi about Brendan. She already hates this man, so she's like, good, get him. Not worth my time, he's a bad person. I'm gonna go tell Natasha. Her and Natasha talk about it. She's like, you should confront him. Totally. Brendan literally comes down after his date where he just had like a good time on some jet skis and like made out with a hot blonde. Like, he was having a good time. And just directly into Conflict Island, Conflict Beach. Brendan says that he did things that were like a relationship. He said it in a different way, but essentially he says, like, I did all the relationship stuff, but we weren't in a relationship. And if she told you we were in a relationship, she was lying. Goblin. Okay. Okay. So Natasha takes Brendan aside and is like, hey, this shit, what's up with this? He's just like, I don't know. And she's just like, you gotta find out. And he's like, I'm here for you. And it feels very placid. I don't love this relationship. I want better for Natasha. Brendan, self-eliminate. So Natasha's like, this was all, he was super cute, so I forgave him. Production's probably like, we cannot have this dark-skinned black woman send herself home. The fans will riot, and I will riot. Get some more good guys for these chocolate queens. Flat out. So, Demi's still pissed that she got rejected. And Natasha and Brendan make their situation official. They still don't kiss, but they're like, we're here for each other. Carl and Deandra, couple. Marissa is locked in with Connor B, couple. Victoria and James go to talk. This is when she's trying to like lock in on a man. And they're laying on the couch. They're laying on this bed. And he's just like, we should just get to know each other on the basic level. Like, how do you like your coffee in the morning? And she goes, oh my god, do you brush your teeth before or after you have your coffee? He goes, I brush my teeth after I have my coffee. She goes, do you pee in the toilet or outside? What the hell's happening in Louisiana? I have to say that I don't remember not a goddamn thing about Victoria. I did not know she was from Louisiana. I'm normally pretty good about recognizing my southern queens and fully did not know or recognize anything about that white woman. Bless her heart. She went pretty far in Peter's season. I just don't remember. I was ready for her to go home. Honestly, her and Kelsey kind of morphed into one person to me. And so when like Kelsey went home and Victoria F was still there, I was like, you. Tammy, with the aid of a Bachelor graphic, is like, okay, Victoria's not here for the right reasons, which, of course, Tammy links up with Aaron, captain of the Not Here for the Right Reasons. How could they not? They're here for the wrong reasons. So, Tammy, with the help of graphics, is like, Victoria is only here to promote her show. She wants to, you know, come here, woo America, then go back to Nashville to be with her country music boyfriend. Tammy confronts Victoria about this. They have a little argument, or Tammy goes and tells James, James is like, hey, what's up? She literally doesn't deny anything, but she also is like, why are you being so crazy about this? Why are you being crazy? Gatekeep, yes. Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss. That is what island we're on. We're on Gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss island. We'll get to it. It's the birds versus Taz, it's the crabs versus the birds, and everyone is wearing gold chains. Anything can happen in paradise. Serena C tries to go after Aaron. She goes over there, they flirt a little bit, crawls into his lap. They cut to Tammy, and Tammy's just like, I'm not worried. And you might be like, that's an overconfident statement. She then shows why she's not worried as she full-on straddles him and is just eating his face. And it's just like, this is an icon. She does not care for the mortal follies of men. She's not. It was like watching a chess match where someone was like, oh, I moved my pawn, and she just went boop 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 and won. It was. We're in paradise, beds. Serena, I also forgot. I need to read my notes more fully. Serena tries to do a little rap. It's giving big Roxy Andrews, I'm here to make it clear energy. I cringed into my seat like a fetus, but, you know, again, why try and rap when you could... Yeah, cool. It's Taz versus Victoria as Victoria tries to go for Trey, and Taz is like, I know your number, you're desperate, you don't even like him like that. I at least like him a little bit, which is, you know, a little tacky, but you know. She said, I have my ticket to the next round, and it's signed with a man whose nephew I apparently whose uncle I apparently snogged. Oh my gosh. Victoria and Demi talk about the 5-second rule, and Demi's like, you don't have a guy, and Victoria's like, neither do you. It's very weird. It's a big shame. We get Victoria's weaponized white woman tears. Goddess Victoria, as she's like, you're being mean to me, and it's like, get away from her, man, white woman. Tammy uses the term rose chasing to describe Victoria. Kelsey has what I like to describe as Barbie hair. It just looks, the longer it goes on, the more soft frizz matted it looks. Not, you know, this is a read, I just find it vaguely soothing. Ooh, Victoria and James go talk, and then Victoria F sends herself home. Because instead of being like, yeah, I'm here for the wrong reasons, she's like, gotta go. It's weirdly anticlimactic because she's just like, I'm gonna go. And then she like walks to the car and the camera like follows her. And James is like, Victoria's decided to send herself home. And it's like, that's it? Okay. So now it is, everyone claps for James because that was a weird one. And Kelsey versus Demi for James as they both kind of like, but like, Demi's Demi. And it's not that these other women are attractive, but Demi is hot, sexy, attractive, and it's, you know, a freak. And it's paradise, so. We go into the rose ceremony where Wells is conducting it. I love Demi's little placard. It says, demigod. Cute. Kelsey gets herself so worked out about going home in a situation where it truly doesn't matter. It's not like she had any connections. And they have to stop the rose ceremony. But let's move on to the rose ceremony. Ivan and Justinia, Noah and Abby, Joe, Serena, Connor and Marissa, Trey and Taz, Carl, Deandra, Brendan and Nat, Aaron and Tammy, Kenny and Mari, James and Demi. So we're saying goodbye to Kelsey, Victoria, and Serena. Bachelor in Paradise, Week 2, Episode 3. in our little trailer, we see that the ladies have the rose, and that Thomas and Riley are on their way in. Ooh, they're gonna shake up the bowl. They're gonna shake it up. Some people have different intros based off of like stupid things that happened last episode. It's whatever. A wild boombox appears. So we switch from our first host, David Spade, who was fun uncle energy, to absolute icon Lance Bass from NSYNC comes. Great time. Whew. Lance takes the ladies off onto a mimosa moment as he is recapped into what has been happening through the ladies' own words. The lads talk about who could be arriving, and they're all mad because they know it's going to be Thomas. They're pissed. Thomas versus the men. Literally, he just got there and it's already Thomas versus the men. The unionized men, and then the men from Tayshia and Claire's season are just like, I mean, we can give him a chance. And then they're like, no! He's a bad dude! Thomas comes on with the date card, obvious. He introduces himself to the ladies, and Trey is throwing a fit about it, about Thomas taking any of the girls. Here for the right reasons squad is always going to try and be what? Here for the right reasons. Thomas talks to Abby, Taz, Mari, and Serena. And Noah is jealous because he went and talked to Abby first. They literally, the men from Claire and Tayshia seasons go from, you know, I could give him a chance to fully like, I will fucking kill this man. Which is kind of ridiculous. Thomas's sins are many and great, and most of them involve smiling too much, but... Here for the right reasons, Brogade, spill the Aaron tea, and they're like, I don't want to work about it, and they're like, Aaron's like, I'd punch him. And it's also like, bro, if you punch this man, you will be removed from the island, so how are you supposed to be finding love off the island? Thomas shows up, and the guys are, you know, they're not happy that he's there. But I'm a person who vehemently kind of hated Thomas. Kind of find him to be charming. He's just like a big, soft, smiley idiot. It's perfect for Paradise. It was annoying on Claire's season, but perfect for Paradise. They're like, he's just like going around places and like bump his head, and they're like, the girl's like, oh, and he's just like, sorry, I'm a large human, I can't help it. It's like, oh, you make my heart all soft. I don't know why you make my heart all soft, Demi. Baka. So after going and looking at, you know, all the women in the list, Thomas asks Serena on the one-on-one. She goes and talks to Joe before she goes, and it's like, hey, is this cool with you? And he's like, I mean, it has to be, I'm not your dad. But he looks miserable and sad the entire time that she's gone. My father asked why all the women seem to be very attracted to Thomas, and I had to explain to him that Thomas looks exactly like a Mycene stall that I will put here. Mycenes was a subsidiary of Bratz. Or not Bratz, a subsidiary of Barbie. But they look their men look different than like a Malibu Barbie. Oh man. They were jacked. They were jacked to hell and back with these articulating arms. Thomas looks exactly like that doll. Thomas and Serena go on a date where they floaty float do wop wop around. Great for them. Carl is shadowboxing on the beach. What is this? This man can't stop being a cringe reaction meme if he's... Again, I can't help but finding more charming when he's not stopping other people from finding love. It's just like punching on the beach, Karate Kid style. That's his new intro, is Karate Kid Carl. Very, very cute, very dumb moment. Everyone's watching. I think he kicked the Shadow's ass. Good for him. Okay. Carl, Aaron, and James are chatting about Sad Boy Joe because Here for the Right Reason Brigade against Thomas, and Serena was with Joe. And honestly, I truly think that's the only reason they care. I don't think they care about anything else other than fucking over Thomas and getting their own shkush. Taz doesn't like Thomas, so Trey doesn't have to worry about her going off with him. She says his vibes are off. And Joe is like, I'll probably leave if I can't have Serena. And it's a little like, dude, chill. As Joe laments, we are cut to Thomas kissing Serena. I need you to know how intense my notes are. Don't play with me. Riley has arrived. Taz is like, the only man I wanted to see on this island is Thomas, and I can't wait to climb that top. He's kind of short king. That chocolate man. Taz is so excited to meet him, and she like essentially like runs in the opposite of Trey, trying to get to him, and it just feels like a beat it chick meme. Just I'll put one up here, but I mean, it feels like Trey's the nurse. It's like the only one. He never says anything like weirdly like incel-y like that, but I just love the idea of beat it chick. Okay, so Riley essentially does a speed date with almost all of the girls. He talks to Marissa, who admits that she's never been on an actual date. He talks to Tammy, Demi, Natasha, Deandra, Mari, and Teshuan. Teshuan and him, you know, they chat, but there doesn't seem to be any spark I could see, and obviously Riley didn't see it because Riley didn't pick her. Riley is really giving Michael B. Jordan tease with how smooth he is on some of these dates. I was like, do I need to join Paradise? Trey's worried and / jealous about Taz and the big hyped up Riley. He's so smooth and he approaches her about the body. She wants him and she totally wants him, and Trey's just like, oh, cringe. So the date card goes to Marissa. It was set up, but a payoff. Taz looks super hurt and just like leaves the beach for a little bit as far as editing goes, because we don't know what happened. Joe wakes up from his coma nap, like he looks shook. He's like, when he wakes up from a little coma nap he took while Serena was on her date with Thomas. To see as Thomas and Serena reappear, mind you, they did kiss. But don't worry, Thomas couldn't help but spill the beans on how he feels about his dude friends, and is essentially just like, hey, I really like the guys, but you know, Aaron and I had a misunderstanding night one, and I really like Trey, but he's emotionally weak. Who says that? Who says that? That's so, and it's not like you can be like, oh, the editing got me. You said that with your human mouth. With your human mouth. It just, I didn't love that. Did not love what Thomas said that day. You can see that Serena's kind of turned off, and honestly, from that point on, date's over. Thomas is all bummed after the date because he can tell that his bullshit with the other guys is affecting his ability to get dates, because Serena essentially told him when she was like, hey, I don't want to hang out with you anymore, don't call me back, is essentially, you got too much dip on your chip, bro. Focus up on that. And she goes back to Joe. So Joe's happy. Carl pulls Thomas to the side and is like, and it's so dumb. It's gonna be stupid. You know, the right reasons brigade. I guess the right reason brigade is now including Carl. So James, Trey, Aaron, and Carl. They all clear the air and they're like, we all just want to get poon. We should all, you know, as long as we're not going after each other's girls, we should all be able to get poon. How short-lived. The boys need space and time. They don't want to interact with Thomas, and you know what? The beach is big. The cabana is wide. There should be enough space so that this stupidness doesn't happen. So as soon as Serena tells the group what your boy said, Taj goes and tells Trey. Trey goes to Thomas is like, keep my name out your mouth. You're dead to me. Don't speak to me. Don't speak to me ever again. How dare you? And you know what? Fair. Marissa goes on a date with Riley. And if you remember, Marissa was paired with Connor. They were making out and stuff, but I always thought that she was just too hot for him. He's like such a nice guy dork, and I love me a nice guy dork. I have me a nice guy dork. But Marissa's smoking hot. Like, she's just like she's the closest we've gotten to a true to form Instagram baddie, like on The Bachelor, like not on like Love Island. She is bad. Real bad, Michael Jackson bad. I love her aesthetic. And the math was never mathing between Connor and Marissa. And Connor seems to think that it's gonna be fine, it's gonna work out. And I know he's a positive person, and that's just like his deal. If your girl goes on a date, you gotta be concerned, because especially with Riley, I want to Photoshop his arms onto my arms. Like, oh, brown, Riley, God. So, they go on this truth or dare date, where either you tell the truth or you eat a various item. They've got like pig, chicken's feet, tripe, tongue, all things that I've been exposed to as a child of an immigrant. Those things aren't that bad, man. Not my cup of tea, but I don't like steak, so. Noah and Tammy are both pretty good narrators, being like, everyone but Connor can see that this is not going to end well for him with Marissa and Riley. They go on this date and they're having a great time, chatting, talking. The conversation gets sexual. We are clearly in a post-Katie pro-sex world, and the sexual tension was palpable. I did not need to watch a man be cucked on national TV, because they essentially end their date and go to the boom boom room. Honest to God, I've only watched one other season of Paradise. I didn't know that you could just go there. I assumed you had to get like a fantasy suite card. No, they allow these people to go bone at any point, I guess, because they do. So they go, Riley and Marissa are not an official pairing because she's still toying around the idea of Connor, but they fucked. So ooh, that rain was short. So what is it though? Huh? The drama. And honestly, the drama continues next week, but you'll hear about that later. But our couples as of right now are Ivan and Jacinia, Noah and Abby, Joe and Serena. A love triangle between Marissa, Connor, and Riley. Trey and Taj, Carl and Deandra, Brendan and Natasha, Aaron and Tammy, Kenny and Mari, and James and Thomas and Demi are all kind of free floaters, foodly doodling around. So I will see you in the coming days, because these 2 episodes are gonna go out back to back, hopefully. As we discussed, week 3, you can subscribe, you know, there are little groups around here, and then you can also check out my beauty channel as well. Alright guys, bye!